The Vietnam War started in December of 1956 and lasted until April of 1975. John Arthur of Longmeadow served in Vietnam in the mid-60s. He sat down with producer Tony Dunne a short while ago and shared his memories of his time in the service and the impact it had on his life.
I was an average teenage kid, born and raised in the Hungry Hills section of Springfield, and the war was going on, and it was really in the early stages as far as I was concerned. I just didn't really think about it. And then when that letter comes in the mail, you've been requested to serve. So that's how I found out. I went, whoa. And then the stark reality started to set in. And now you realize you're not controlling your life. It's something you don't forget. It really sticks with you. I don't think people realize that the person going at times is least affected. My mom had to dye all my underwear and everything dark green, so you couldn't be seen at night. And I remember her emotionally doing that. Is this green enough? Well, yep, it's supposed to be like this. And I know it was killing her. My dad was never the warm fuzzy and the hugs, and he drove me to Lower State Street. I was going to get on a bus and go to New Jersey, Fort Dix. And in his very broken English, he looked at me and he said, "Make me proud." And whoa, we hugged and all that. It was real nice. I ended up in a place called Queen Yan, and I got off and I'm standing there, and it's this odor, this armpit odor. I can't explain it, and the oppressive heat. And I got to my tent and got in, and I'm laying in bed, and all these thoughts of home come back to you. And the next morning, the flash bulb went off, and you look out, and you see endless canvas. That's my home. That's where we are now. And you're there for a year. So it was kind of like a rude awakening. But we were there for a reason. We weren't really entirely sure, or frankly, why we were there. You fight for your country, you're there for your country. And after you're there a while, you do adapt, you do get into a routine. I became very fond of some of the Vietnamese people. And some of the Vietnamese people actually worked on our compound. I was in a medical unit. It's called the 55th Medical Group, 67th Evac Hospital. My friend and I became very close, and we befriended with this one young man, Thoi Van Thoi was his name, and I don't know whatever happened to him. Tremendous relationships you developed with other guys. You'd sit and talk. I've not experienced camaraderie like you do when you're together, because I think there's a sense that you need each other. Most of us didn't know much about the war. We would sit around and talk about it. Many would say, "What are we doing here?" And I became a pretty good hearts player, because that's all we did at night. But I've only once or twice tried to search a person's name. I didn't really get far enough. I'd stop it. I don't want really to know. I think you want to freeze some things in time. Playing hearts. I want to remember playing hearts with them. I know I came back a different person. Yes, I appreciated the simple things. I appreciated the aroma of Ma's pizza coming out of the oven like I never did before. When I came home, I didn't tell my parents when I was coming. And I remember walking up these very narrow stairs, knocking on the door, my mother opening the door saying, "Oh my God, Johnny, Nicky," my father's name was Nicholas, "Nicky, Johnny's here." And my father, in his unequivocal way, said, "Who?" She said, "Johnny, your son." And I remember him saying, "Which one?" "Johnny." And he came out, he goes, oh my, that's the only time I saw my dad really, oh my. I think I know why we were there. I guess a good question is, knowing what I know, would I go back? Would I do it again? And I would have to say I would. I haven't done a whole lot of wonderful things in my life, but that's one of my proudest.